So welcome to the second Creative Mornings Derby with Bertie, who is the speaker over there. Give him away, Bertie. For those of you, I don't recognise a few of your faces, so we've got a bit of an introduction into Creative Mornings. So Creative Mornings is a global lecture breakfast series for the creative industries. And it's got currently in 212 cities, 67 countries, 9.1 million video views a month, all of them from Future Proof, I imagine, which is amazing, our resident videographers. And we've got some global sponsors that sponsor the whole thing globally. MailChimp is one, who if you're up to signed up to our newsletter, you will get a few MailChimps a month from us. But they've released a brand new thing called a short movie, which is about 99 problems. So it's about the story of a troublesome ice cream parlour, and there's dogs eating ice cream, which everybody loves on it. So if you check that out, 99 Problems by MailChimp, that would be amazing. Our second global sponsor is WordPress.com, which I'm sure we all know what WordPress.com is, the biggest website provider on the planet. And they've got a new way for creative people to earn money. So I don't know if anybody's heard of Patreon, that's quite big in America. What that allows people to do is pay you a small regular fee for the content that they like. So you get a little recurring monthly revenue thing, which is difficult to attract as a creative person, but they've got a brand new way of earning money from the people who follow your blog, like your content and stuff like that. So please check that out. So this morning's theme is invest. I'm going to read the official definition off my phone. Bear with me 1 second. So it was created. Global Mornings is a global organisation with 211 chapters, 212 now, as we've just seen. And it's connected by a global theme. So everybody around the world does a presentation or a lecture on the same theme every month. And this one was chosen by Hong Kong chapter. It's an exploration of the term invest, and it's illustrated by Bao Ho, illustrated the theme. And we've got a real life entrepreneur in the house to deliver a talk on invest. Please welcome Mr. Bertie Cordingley to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bottom is forward.
Bottom is forward.
Bottom is forward.
Morning. Everyone all right? Comfortable? Okay, now I'm not going to actually ask you to move, but can you just make some noise? Just something to actually let you know that, yeah, do that. I just want to know that you're there. Ah, that's better. It's because my mum's going to watch this video, and all she's going to see is these empty seats, and that's all I'm going to hear about. Okay, so thank you for having me here. So I was going to do a little bit of an introduction about myself. Should I do that? Yes. Yeah, okay. Yes, entrepreneur, I can use that term. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Ever since I was little, all I wanted to do was just run my own business. That was always what was in me passionately. Never really knew exactly what it was I wanted to do, but I just knew I wanted to do something, and I wanted to work for myself and just have that business. So, so I think I can sort of legitimately use the term entrepreneur. So I've worked in many sort of different industries, but one of the sort of businesses that people know me for around here is fillmybelly.com. That was an online ordering service for takeaway food. So had the idea in 2004, launched in 2006, and then that became the third biggest takeaway website in the UK, and sold that to Just Eat in 2012. And then I was with Just Eat for 3 years, and then done some other bits and pieces since then. And now I work as a business coach, for want of a better word. So I work with businesses, help them grow, and do all that sort of stuff as well. So that's a quick background about who I am and why I'm here. So invest. Tim very kindly asked me to speak here about this topic, and he told me to interpret it in any way that I liked. So I did go through lots of different ways in which I could interpret this. I thought about turning up to Tim's house with a couple of really scary vests, getting a selfie. That was going to be the first image. But then I made it a proper serious talk, since you've all given up your mornings to come and hear me speak. and have the free breakfast. So, so, invest. So what does it actually mean? So we've had Tim's definition there, and of course the first thing you would do when you've got to do a talk is Google it. So this was the definition that I found. So invest, devote one's time, effort, energy or finances to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. So that's devote one's time, effort, energy or finances to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. Now, I quite like this. It's a little bit wordy, but it actually fits with the way that I feel about the word invest, investing. So I think that suits it quite well. So when we talk about invest or investing, one of the sort of common misconceptions is that it's a quick win, and investing really isn't a quick win. It's a very long-term strategy. And the problem with the majority of people is they actually don't want to invest. They actually just want quick results. So if you think about people who maybe start drinking special diet tea because they want those quick results, etc., it's not really about the long-term strategy. They're not really investing in themselves. It's just looking for the quick results. So a lot of people do look for quick wins, and that's often confused with investment, and it's not, it's speculative. And another important thing about investing is you have to remember, if you're going to invest something, you really do have to give something up. So you've got to put something in, and that's got to come from somewhere. So if you want to invest in a new business, and this is going to be your side hustle, then you're going to have to give up those times in the evening when maybe just like chilling on the sofa and watching Netflix. If you want to invest in getting fit and you want to go to the gym a little bit more, you're going to have to give up the extra hour in bed and actually really make an effort to get up there and get to the gym. So we're going to revisit this quote now. I'm just going to get a quick drink. So what I've done with this is I've just highlighted the key words, because I think these are the most important parts in here. So devote, a particular undertaking and worthwhile results. So let's just strip out the rest, and we're just going to focus on these. So these are really, really key when you're thinking about investing. So the word devote. If I'm going to devote to something, then I'm really, really going to go into it with everything that I've got. That's what the word devote means to me. Can we all agree? Devote, okay. Which means I'm going to go at it relentlessly. So a particular undertaking, that's not really very exciting, is it? But a particular undertaking is something that would that I would have to do to get the worthwhile result. So in this context, it's doing the right stuff. And a worthwhile result, well, what's a worthwhile result to me or to you or to anybody? It's to reach my goal. Well, for me, it's to reach my goal. For you, it's to reach your goal. But you know what I mean. So the word invest, I think, translates to relentlessly doing the right stuff to reach your goals or my goals, or anybody's goals. So let's just sort of see how this works. So I've just got some pretty standard goals up here. So this was a goal, well, not a goal, but this is something that I tried to do a while ago, learn the guitar. Wasn't a goal as such, but this is probably something that, the sort of thing that people can relate to. Get into shape, something that most people can relate to at some point. Visit Bali. Sometimes I say Bali. I just want to make sure. Is it Bali or Bali?
Bali.
Definitely Bali.
Bali.
Okay, you can hear the Yorkshire coming out of me. Bali. And have a successful business. So these are just some pretty standard goals. I'm just going to go through some examples with you. So these technically aren't SMART goals, if you know the SMART framework about making them measurable and something, but in this context it's all fine to go, and I've left a little bit of ambiguity in there just so we can play about with them a little bit. So, the right stuff. So if I want to hit these goals, what is the right stuff that I would need to be doing? So learn the guitar. Well, I'd need to take lessons, right? Or I suppose now I could just watch YouTube or get a DVD, but I'd need to take lessons. I actually did try and learn the guitar. It wasn't a goal, I just tried to learn because I thought it would be cool. My mate was playing the guitar, so I went and bought a guitar. And then he told me that it was better to get an electric guitar so I could plug it into the PlayStation. It was really easy to learn, so then I bought 2 guitars. I still can't play the guitar because I didn't take lessons, and most of all, I didn't practice. So this would be the right stuff that you would need to do. Get into shape. To get into shape, it's quite simple, really. I've just got to eat less calories than I burn. That's it. If I'm eating less than the calories that I'm burning, then I'm going to actually lose weight, which in turn would get me into shape. Also, I need to exercise. Visit Bali, then I've got to save for that. It's an expensive place. It looks amazing. I've never been. Has anyone been? Worth going? Yes. Recommend it? Fantastic. Okay, so I might have that as one of my goals. I'd like to go to Bali. I'm going to have to save for that. And also, I want to get fit, because let's face it, if I'm going to Bali, I'm going to Instagram the shit out of that. So I want to be looking half decent in the photos. So to have a successful business, what would I need to do? So for me, one of the key things in running a business is to lead that business with passion. And when I say lead with passion, this is each day and every day, which I'm going to cover in the relentlessly part. But also I need to be on top of my numbers, and I'm going to cover that a little bit more as well. So these are 2 key things. Obviously there's lots more to running a business. It's not just these 2 things. I'm just trying to give you a couple of good examples. So relentlessly, what do I mean by this? So in the context of learning the guitar, if I'm going to take lessons, 1 lesson isn't going to cut it, right? I need to show up every time. If I've got those lessons week in, week out, it's common sense. I just need to turn up. I've just got to show up and take those lessons. I also need to practice. Now, I don't know how much you need to practice. I'd imagine it will be every day. But however, and this is where the goals have a little bit of ambiguity. If you want to learn the guitar in 6 months to play for a concert, you're going to have to practice every day. If you want to learn over the course of a few years, you may be going to practice weekly. So this is why I didn't make the goals SMART, because you've got a little bit to play with here. If I want to get into shape, eat less calories than I burn. If I want to do that quickly, I need to do that daily. If I'm maybe not so worried about it, maybe I'll just have a few good days each week where I'm not actually eating more than the calories that I burn. Exercise, I need to go, if I want to significantly change my body shape, I need to go to the gym 4 times a week. So visit Bali, then I need to save a certain amount of money each and every month. So whatever that amount is, that would be the goal. Whenever I want to go, then I'd figure out what I need to save, and I would put that money away monthly. And then get fit, we'll just see above. We've already gone through that. So having a successful business, leading with passion. This is something that I'm really passionate about, to use that word again. Because it's leading with passion is something that you've got to do all the time. You see a lot of inspirational business leaders, and I've worked with quite a lot of inspirational business leaders, and it's great when things are going good. You can stand up there in front of your team and like, oh, it's amazing, let's keep going. It's when things are bad. It's when things are bad that it's challenging. It's really challenging at that point to be a leader, because at that point, your natural instincts is to have head down and just start working on stuff. All the stuff that was funny and was actually sort of quite good in the business, everything then starts to seem bad and grim. So leading with passion, even during the bad times, you've got to stand up there and lead from the front. It's really crucially important in any business. And be on top of the numbers. Again, not just in the good times and the bad times as well. If things are going wrong, then you can't just bury your head in the sand. You have to figure out what's going wrong and what can you do? What can you try to try and rectify that problem? Just sticking your head in the sand isn't going to cut it. Oh, I've gone backwards. So you need to be on top of your numbers. And typically when I have growth meetings with my team or the people that I work with, then once a week is a really good time, at the very minimum, to be on top of your numbers for your business. I'm going to have another drink. So we've already covered those bits. So how do you actually invest wisely? How do you choose what to invest your time, your money, your energy into? So before investing anything, and this comes back to the guitar scenario, actually, does the investment align with my goals? Do I actually want to invest my time in this at all? FOMO is not a good reason to invest in anything. And it's actually one of the biggest reasons that maybe people will lose money or waste time. Fear of missing out isn't a good reason to invest. So if you sort of remember the whole Bitcoin thing, there's legitimate investors in there that have made a lot of money with Bitcoin. And then as soon as it started hitting the papers a few years ago, everybody was getting in on the game. It was suddenly like your friends, your family, everyone suddenly was a Bitcoin investor overnight. Everybody was saying about it, and they should be doing this and that, and I've bought these, etc. But they weren't investors. They'd done no research. I'm talking about the majority of people here. They just got on the train because it was popular and thought they could get a quick result. And some people did, but the majority of people didn't. And a lot of people, when it crashed last year in December 2018, yeah, the year before, just at the end of the year, I think it was up to about £20,000 per Bitcoin, then sort of sunk to about 5 again. A lot of people lost money in there, but a lot of people invested for the wrong reasons. It wasn't part of their long-term goal. So another thing to think about before investing anything, before investing your time, before investing your energy in anything, is actually really visualize what does success look like. So what will it feel like to actually hit that goal? So if you've got a goal, you need to visualize it, you need to smell it, taste it, actually really sort of picture it in your head. So going back to if I want to visit Bali, I've said it right this time, and I want to get in shape for that, if that is genuinely one of my goals, then I'm going to visualize walking out of that sea, just coming onto the sand, looking like Daniel Craig. Please don't visualize it yourselves now, it's just wrong. But that's what I'm going to do. You already have, haven't you? That image is there now, burnt in. But that's the sort of thing that I would want to do. And then each and every day, if I am going to the fridge and there's that little bit of cake there, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to have that, then no. Because it's that goal is burnt into my brain, and that's what I'm going for. So you can really start to visualize what it's like to hit that goal. Is the success actually worth the risk? Now I'm going to talk about this one very, very carefully, because risk is good. We need risk or nothing's going to happen. We have to take risks. But risk is always in context. And it all depends on what you want to invest in and actually how much you want to risk. So I mentioned earlier about fillmybelly.com. So when the way that I launched that business is I tested the idea first. So I mean, this is 2006, so I was using Microsoft Paint, and I made this terrible presentation of what a website would look like, how someone would order and they'd put their postcode in and it would then take you to the menu, and then it used to send, the way that we delivered orders was to send the order to a mobile, so we just text the order to the takeaway, so we didn't need any technology. So mocked this all up and took it round to the takeaways. And in that so I took a week off work, and in that first week I got 5 people to sign up, and that was enough for me. I was like, right, this is it. Found the next big thing. It's going to be amazing. So I went in on the Monday morning and handed my notice in. Now, to me, that didn't feel like a risk. I'd started at NTL, I was doing door-to-door selling, then I was an area sales manager. I'd been promoted like about 3 months before. But the people that I worked with there was like, are you crazy? You're giving up this amazing job, this career. In fact, my mum had found recently this article in the paper about how I'd turned my life around because I got a job at NTL and I wasn't a DJ anymore. So it's, people thought I was insane. For the people that I spoke to, it was an insane amount of risk to actually leave a paying job and go and pursue something that you really believed in. To me, it wasn't. So this is what I mean by risk is contextual, because I just thought, well, actually, if it didn't work, and I never doubted that it wasn't, but if it didn't, I'd just get another job. So what? Like, who cares? Like, it didn't matter. But the thought for some people of leaving that stable job is a big risk. So you've really got to sort of quantify what the risk is, what's the worst that's going to happen. And sometimes actually just quantifying those risks can help you take that step. It can help you actually say, do you know what? No one's going to die. It was like the same with when we had Fill My Belly, and it was just going crazy. Like Saturday night, as you can imagine, everyone's ordering takeaway. Things weren't turning up. I mean, you've all ordered online at some point right now. And when everything's going wrong and everyone's panicking and people are hungry, like they are the worst customers ever you could possibly imagine to deal with. And like the website would go down and all this sort of stuff. And it was the stress in the office was crazy. But like I just used to stand up and this is sort of what I mean by just sort of leading and just say to people, do you know what? Just chill. It's a fucking kebab. That's it. Like I didn't say that to customers, obviously, but it was that kind of, it's like, you know, we're dealing with it. It's just a kebab. Chill out. No one's going to die. So you have to mitigate your risk. So they're the three things I would say to you if you're thinking about investing anything, and this isn't just money, it's time, it's energy, what actually you're going to invest. So does it align with my goals? Really visualize what success looks like, and is success worth the risk? So if you want to invest, number one, check in with your own goals, figure out what it is, and then decide if you're going to shoot for it. Number two, decide what you're going to do to achieve those goals. So really, really map out those steps, what it is you need to do to achieve them. And then relentlessly execute the right stuff to reach those goals. So, I suppose my last question is, what will you start to invest in today? Thank you.
Thank you, Bertie.